After 6 years as a recording artist, Jake Owen has finally figured it out. Barefoot Blue Jean Night became his very first #1 hit, and that's a special event he will remember for the rest of his life. Lynn caught up with Jake and the writers of that hit song at the CMA headquarters down on Music Row to hear all about it.
We're here with Jake Owen, #1. How's it feel? It's got to be an awesome feeling.
Feels pretty good. I've never had one of these, so there's anytime you have a first-time experience, it feels pretty good. But being a kid that moved to town 6 years ago and has been working hard ever since, it's kind of a nice reward.
And you've worked so hard, and I've heard you say before, like your dad wanted you to stay in school, and you took off to Nashville. Tell us that story.
I was only about 12 hours shy of a degree at Florida State, and my gut instinct told me to move to Nashville. And as much as I'm sure my parents didn't want me to do that, I went ahead and did it, and I've been grinding away ever since. And so, to be able to call home and tell mom and dad that I have the #1, and then see me do what I'm doing, I think they're finally pretty happy with where I am, and I made them proud. And that's all a kid ever wants to do, is make your family proud.
We were shining like lighters in the dark in the middle of a rock show.
This song, you guys all sat down. Is this the first time you had collaborated together?
It was the first time all three of us had written together. Dylan and I write about once a week. And Terry and I had just started writing quite a bit together, and it was the first time all three of us had written together. It was pretty amazing.
And it obviously went very well. Was it a long day, or did you guys knock it out pretty quickly?
It was about an hour and a half. I mean, it was kind of grueling. We were very lucky. It literally came together that quick. It was one of those, we better get out of here before we change something.
All right. Now, who came up with the what-ohs and the never want to grow up?
Well, I was probably wowing, but I don't know if I did the never grow up. We were all really involved. It's hard to, it's hard to really remember back to that. I just know that I certainly have a tendency to whoa. Eric will tell you that.
Can you sing that for me?
Whoa!
So catchy.
Well, it's catchy. That's ear candy, like Eric and I like to call it.
It works. It worked very well on the radio.
Now, long stuff for like in concert.
Yeah, exactly, and it just makes it sound so much fun, and the timing on the song out and everything just worked really well, and Jake was the perfect guy for the song. How did Jake hear it?
I believe Natalie Harker, our song plugger at Cal 4 Entertainment, where we write, and Billy Lynn played it for Jake's label, and he heard it, and just all kinds of things fell into place where people had heard the song before and already loved it, and when he brought it to them, and it just, everything lined up perfectly, and it's awesome that people got to hear the song.
We were doing it right. We were coming alive.
This is the first outside song that I've ever released as a single. On my last album, I recorded a couple outside songs, but the majority of the songs I've ever recorded and released were all songs I wrote. But it's very refreshing to be able to sit back and find amazing songs from amazing songwriters and share the awesome feeling of a big #1 song with all of them, and it's pretty neat. I mean, looking around out here tonight, all these folks here, it's kind of wild. I've never experienced anything like this.
It's really cool, and they're all here to celebrate with you. Now, when you first heard the song, what was the thing did you know right off the bat that I want to cut it, or was there something about the song that you knew it was a hit?
Yeah, I mean, I think any song, when you first hear it, sometimes if it does something to you, you just relate to it. I mean, songs like dating back to when I was a kid, whether it was an up-tempo song or a ballad, I remember exactly the way I felt the first time I heard Randy Travis, He Walked on Water. And I remember exactly the way I felt the first time I heard that big orange ball sinking in the water, or Alan Jackson's Drive. I mean, I can instantly remember where I was when I heard it, and I think there's going to be a lot of people, I hear it, they tell me on a daily basis that 2011 summer, their song was Barefoot Blue Jean Night. And my buddy texted me from the Titans game this past weekend, and Mariani, their kick and punt returner, was on the big screen talking about the Titans song of the summer as Barefoot Blue Jean Night.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's really awesome, to be recognized like that in this town, one that I just, was an adventure coming to, and now to be accepted, I kind of feel like I've kind of, made it here a little bit.
Barefoot Blue Jean Night.
For all the writers who are watching, to get to here, this point, to get here to a #1, and what do you do? I mean, just
work every day. I mean, that other #1 song I was 7 years ago, and I told Eric on the way over here, I mean, the amount of songs I've written since, between them is in the hundreds. I mean, you just got to show up every day, and you show up and hope your number gets called.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things. A lot of luck involved. A lot of luck and timing, but hard work too. So work.
Keep writing, don't give up, and do it for the right reasons. And it'll show through the music.
Yeah. Absolutely. And to be fortunate enough to have somebody like Jake that's just such a great live performer, and the timing for him was brilliant. And when you see him perform the song, I mean, we write it and then everybody else augments it. The pluggers get it plugged to the right people, and then he brings it to the world, and it's just, we're all parts of a puzzle, and we're all very lucky.
Takes a team. Well, congratulations to all of you. So exciting. I know Jake is thrilled to have gotten the song, and we've got a party waiting outside.
Yeah.
All right.
One of People Magazine's sexiest men alive, Jake has learned that he can't do everything on his own, and he needs a really good team around him so that he can accomplish great things. We have to take another quick break, but we still have lots more music up ahead. We'll be right back with more Inside Music Row right after this.
Hey, it's Casey Beathard. Stick around. We're going to be talking about me here in a couple minutes.